What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and this is the updated video, as I promised, about the ongoing negotiations of Wilder and Joshua. Well, here's the update. Wilder's camp has canceled the meeting. They've canceled the meeting with Eddie Hearns that was supposed to happen, and it never happened. Because according to Wilder's camp, the explanation was there's no reason to have a sit down if there is no say so on if the fight will happen. Now, it doesn't make sense to me because, okay, this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with Wilder's camp, Wilder's management team. And according to Wilder, they have $50 million to pay a person. And the reason you don't want to have a meeting is because you have the money. You know what I mean? You have to question that. It's just like, okay, someone wants to buy something from you, right? And then you're like, okay, well, let's sit down. Show me the money, And then they say, you know what? No, never mind. That's good. We don't want to. We don't want to waste your time because we got the money. It sounds like a bluff. The whole thing sounds like a bluff, and honestly, I think that they don't have the money because there would be no reason for you to cancel a meeting that was already scheduled if you had the money already, because you have the money. The hard part's out of that. Now you have to deal with the other stuff, the other simpler things about the negotiations, like the venue and, the television rights and stuff like that, shit that you have to do during negotiations about a big fight. Okay. And it gets me because I'm sitting there like, okay, Wilder wants this fight. He really wants this fight. Was it Wilder? Was he the one that just, hey, I got the money, let's do it? And Joshua replied back, let's roll. So you got two guys that want to fight. So it's not the guys now. I think it's the promotional company. I don't think Sherry Finkel or whatever her name is. I don't think Deontay's manager backed the decision or backed the statement that Wilder said. You know what I mean? Because if you would have backed your fighter with what he offered Eddie Hearns, you know what I'm saying? Because this was coming from Wilder. This wasn't coming from his promotional company. But his promotional company has done what? What's the action of the promotional company? To cancel. Let's cancel negotiations. Well, I mean, that tells me you didn't have the money to begin with it, because if you had it, you would have been like, okay, well, we got the money now, so let's follow through with the meeting that was already set and planned. So I don't this whole thing, and I feel bad for Wilder because now I understand it's other parties involved with this. A lot of people want to blame Eddie Hearn. Oh, Eddie Hearn, he just, no, Eddie Hearn wanted the meeting and they canceled the meeting. So you can't say it's Eddie Hearn. So it has to fall back on Wilder's camp by default, right? Because it's like, well, damn, they canceled the negotiations. Now they don't, but you have the money, you say, right? You have the money. But now you're telling me, oh, well, no, you know what? Don't even worry about it because there's no sense of following negotiations if you don't agree to take the fight. Why would you agree to take the fight if there's no contract showing about the fight? You just, oh, yeah, sign this and then we'll talk about it later. No, you have to see what everything includes. The meeting definitely shows that the fight is of interest anyway. But if you close negotiations to sit down, the business side of it is done. So no, there won't be any Wilder and Joshua. Sad to say, so, and because I think Wilder's camp has done something under Wilder's nose. I think that, and I don't know if it's Al Heyman or his manager or whoever, but I think they have decided to go another route, because Brazil was already promised a fight, according to Wilder's camp before these. So you simultaneously have these negotiations going on. You have, You have Brazil talking about he's the mandatory for Wilder or whatever, and they're going to fight him. But then you have this other big negotiation to Joshua about a fight that's supposed to happen, and you have $50 million to pay this fighter in between September and October. You know, it like that I don't know. It's just some weird shit going on. You know, and we all learn from each other because with the information provided, if the information is credible, you know, and this is coming from Eddie Hearn, okay? He had an interview where they canceled, you know, and I researched it myself. You know, you have to research this stuff. You know, you can't come half-cocked and don't know what the hell you're talking about. So it's bad. You got two guys that want to fight and a promotional company that doesn't want this to happen. You know, if they didn't, if they didn't have the money to pay AJ, you know, they shouldn't have allowed Wilder to come on to send that email to Eddie Hearn if he didn't have the money. That's first off. So I'm thinking, well, maybe they're trying to save face, like, okay, we didn't have the money. You shouldn't have sent that email without verifying with us. So a lot of stuff is going unsaid that we don't know about. We just know that the meeting is canceled. So there's no negotiations at all anyway. Now it's just talk about social media and hearsay and he said, she said, and then the fans are going to do the rest, right? And that's what you have. So I can tell you this, you know, because, you know, you have the conspiracy theories and stuff like that that's brewing, like, okay, what if this is all, you know, made up for us to want the fight because it's so much problems having the fight, kind of like Maypac, if they're following the same, you know, pattern, you know, and blueprint as Maypac, you know, well, shit, maybe it might be $100 million by the time they fight because it's a lot involved with it. Why do you guys think that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather made that much money? Because the fight was prolonged that long. It was prolonged to the point where you're like, well, damn, when are these motherfuckers going to fight? When are these guys going to get in the ring? And to the point, it's like, okay, this is ridiculous. You know, you got one guy offering to send money over Mayweather and all this and that. You know, I'll save you the story. But it was something similar to what's going on because each side, you know, it's like you got bombs launching from over on this end, supposedly hitting the target on the other end. Then you got another target that's supposed, oh, well, we sent another missile over there, you know, and saying, oh, well, you know, we did our end and all this. So I'm just waiting to see the explanation. Well, they gave us an explanation. It was a very bland one. So there's really nothing else to talk about. And that's the part that gets me. You guys mean to tell me you have $50 million to give AJ as he asked, but then you decide to cancel the meeting about giving him the $50 million. So how would you expect him to believe you actually had the $50 million? You know what I'm saying? Just let that sink in. For all you Wilder fanboys, all you dick riders, I know you're going to come on this channel talking or this and that and the other, but it falls back to Wilder's camp. He needs to get another promotional company, right? Because obviously, you think it would be this hard for Wilder to make the fight with AJ if he was signed with Matchroom. You think it would be that hard, you know? So it's management at this point, you know? And I don't know. I mean, this is what we have, you know? And it's the weirdest thing that I could possibly imagine right now. This is the weirdest thing. So, but anyway, guys, you guys tell me what you think. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Saturday. Of course, please subscribe. Leave your comments below. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.